There comes a moment in every being's existence when the invisible begins to whisper louder than the visible. When the outer world starts to bend in strange ways, not because reality has changed, but because you have. You begin to feel the subtle ripples of a shift you cannot name, yet every cell knows it is real. It's the moment when the fabric of your known self starts to dissolve, and something ancient, infinite, begins to emerge through the cracks of your old identity. You feel the call not from outside, but from the space between your thoughts, from the silence that has always watched you live inside its boundless gaze. You start noticing the air feels heavier with meaning. Time slows in small intervals, and your emotions seem to rise and fall like tides obeying a hidden moon. The shift has begun, but it is not something you can see. It is not a flash of light or a sudden miracle. It is invisible, silent, and infinitely intelligent. It moves through you like quantum particles dancing in a field of pure potential, rearranging the blueprint of your reality from the inside out. Everything you thought you were begins to unravel. The story of who you have been starts to feel like a memory from another dimension. The labels, the fears, the beliefs, all dissolve into waves of energy that return to source, and in their place, you feel something new, not an identity but awareness itself, the witness that has never changed, even as lifetimes have come and gone. That awareness is you, the pure field before form, the consciousness that animates the universe into being. In this invisible quantum shift, nothing in the external world needs to move first. Reality does not change because you push it. It changes because you vibrate differently. When your frequency alters, your timeline reorganizes. When your awareness expands, matter rearranges itself to match your new level of coherence. This is the secret few understand. The world does not respond to your actions, it responds to your energy. You do not manifest through effort, you manifest through alignment. As you listen, your field begins to align. There's a reason you found these words in this moment of your existence. You were called, not by chance but by resonance. Reality is not random, it is harmonize. Every thought you think sends ripples through the quantum field, and those ripples return as experience. When your inner vibration shifts, the field reorganizes to match the new signal you emit. That's the invisible shift, not seen by eyes but felt by the soul. You've probably felt it already. The subtle sense that something is forming beyond your understanding. Perhaps you've noticed synchronicities increasing, dreams intensifying, emotions surfacing that don't seem to belong to the present. These are signs that your quantum field is recalibrating. You are shedding timelines that no longer match your vibration. You are stepping into coherence with the reality you were always destined to embody. There is no going back now. Once the shift begins, the old patterns lose power. You can still see them, but they feel hollow, like echoes from a dream you no longer live in. Your ego tries to cling, but it cannot hold on to what no longer vibrates in your frequency. You begin to observe, rather than react. You begin to choose rather than chase. And in that stillness, the infinite finds you. This invisible shift cannot be forced. It unfolds through surrender. The quantum field responds to neutrality, not desire, not fear, but pure observation. When you observe without resistance, you enter the 0 point, the state of infinite potential. It is from this point that all realities are born. Every version of you, every possible future, exists here, waiting for you to align through frequency, not thought. The shift happens not when you say "I want," but when you declare "I am." The "I am" is the original frequency, the vibration of source experiencing itself through you. When you remember that you are not the one seeking change but the one through whom change happens, the field begins to mirror that remembrance. You become the observer and the creator, the wave and the particle, the dreamer and the dream. That is the invisible quantum shift, the moment when duality collapses into unity. Your heart begins to awaken. It pulses not with emotion but with intelligence. You start to sense that love is not a feeling but a frequency, the highest order of coherence in the universe. When you vibrate at the frequency of unconditional love, all distortions dissolve. Fear can't exist in that field. Limitation can't survive there. Love is the code that reprograms matter. It is the original software of creation, and you are its source code. You begin to feel it, a warmth in your chest, a stillness behind your breath. That's not imagination, It's resonance. The field around you is adjusting to match your awareness. The photons that create your body are reorganizing themselves according to your consciousness. You are literally changing at the subatomic level. The invisible is becoming visible. The quantum is collapsing into the physical. You are watching creation in real time. And yet, to the ordinary eye, nothing appears to change. The same walls, the same faces, the same sounds. But you can feel it. The difference is in the space between things. The emptiness hums with presence. The silence speaks. The ordinary becomes divine. This is the true miracle. Not that something new appears, but that you begin to see what has always been here, through the lens of awakened perception. You are not evolving into something greater. You are remembering what you have always been. The shift is not upward or forward. It is inward. You are not reaching the light. You are realizing you are the light that reality reflects. The invisible quantum shift is simply the unveiling of the truth. There has never been separation between you and Source. Every breath, every thought, every sensation is the universe knowing itself through you. And now, as you hear these words, the field within you harmonizes with the infinite field beyond you. The observer and the observed become one. You no longer chase signs, you become the signal. You no longer wait for change, you become the chain. You no longer seek the path, you realize you are the path, the traveler and the destination all at once. The invisible shift is complete, not when your circumstances change, but when your perception does, because reality does not happen to you, it happens through you. The universe is not outside, it is expressing itself as you. When you remember this, the invisible becomes visible, and the impossible becomes inevitable. There is a silence that exists beneath all movement, a stillness that has never been touched by thought, time, or fear. It is not something you enter, it is what you are made of. Every time you pause and breathe deeply into this now, you return to that eternal stillness. This is the field where the invisible shift takes form, not through effort, but through surrender. The more you let go of what you think you should be, the more you become what you already are. The more you release control, the more the universe moves through you with perfect precision. You begin to realize that the shift isn't happening to you, it's happening as you. You are the frequency through which Source experiences awakening. Every emotion, every challenge, every breakthrough, they are the ripples of your evolution unfolding in perfect order. The resistance, the confusion, the longing, they were never mistakes, they were invitations. The universe was never testing you, it was preparing you. Each moment you thought was breaking you was actually realigning your energy to vibrate in coherence with truth. Look closely at your life. Notice the patterns that seem to repeat endlessly. The same fears, the same lulls, the same emotional spirals. They are not punishments. They are loops of learning, each one asking you to awaken just a little more. Once you see the pattern, you collapse the loop. Awareness ends repetition. That's the moment the invisible shift anchors into your physical reality. When your consciousness evolves beyond the frequency that created the old experience, you literally step into a new dimension of yourself. Time begins to behave differently now. You'll notice that memories feel softer, less binding. The past starts to dissolve, not because it is forgotten, but because you no longer need to carry it. You begin to understand that the past only existed as a projection of your old vibration. Change the vibration, and the story loses its grip. You are free, not because the world changed, but because your perception did. The invisible shift is the mastery of perception, the art of seeing beyond illusion. In this new state, you begin to sense that reality is listening. Every word you speak vibrates into existence. Every intention echoes through the field. You are not separate from creation. You are co-writing it moment by moment, frequency by frequency. The energy you emit is the script the universe follows. When you speak in the language of coherence, gratitude, presence, love, reality reconfigures itself around you. People appear, opportunities align, and time bends to meet your state of being. This is not magic, it is quantum law. You no longer chase results. You no longer force outcomes. You begin to trust the intelligence that orchestrates galaxies. You start to feel the same pulse that moves the tides, the same breath that creates stars. It flows through your veins, rearranging you from the inside. The shift is cellular now. Your DNA responds to your awareness. Your nervous system rewires itself to hold higher frequencies of light. You feel lighter, clearer, more aware of subtle energies around you. The invisible becomes tangible, not through sight, but through resonance. There will be moments of void, periods when it feels as though everything is still, paused, silent. These are sacred intervals of recalibration. Do not mistake them for emptiness. The void is where creation takes its first breath. When nothing seems to move, everything is aligning. The ego panics in silence, but the soul smiles. For the soul knows, stillness is not absence, it is genesis. Every quantum leap begins in the void. As your awareness deepens, you start to feel your energy field expanding. It is not imagination, it is physics. Your electromagnetic heart field extends beyond your body, interacting with the quantum field around you. When you feel love, your field expands infinitely. When you feel fear, it contracts. That's why the invisible shift cannot coexist with fear. Fear collapses potential. Love opens portals. So you begin to practice the simplest yet most powerful act in existence. Staying open. Open to life. Open to love. Open to what you cannot yet see. This openness becomes your superpower. Because the moment you stop demanding reality to look a certain way, the infinite can finally express itself through you. You realize you are never here to control the flow. You are here to be the flow. The current of consciousness is intelligent. It knows where to take you. Every detour was alignment. Every delay was divine timing. Every heartbreak was a recalibration. When you understand this, resistance dissolves, and miracles become natural. The invisible quantum shift transforms not only your inner world, but also how the outer world perceives you. People begin to sense something different in your energy. A calm that feels magnetic, a clarity that doesn't need words. You no longer speak to your vibration communicates before your mouth does. You become a walking transmission of coherence. The room changes when you enter it. Reality rearranges around your state of being. You don't need to prove your worth, your frequency speaks it. And in that realization, all striving ends. You stop chasing purpose and begin embodying presence. You stop searching for meaning and begin radiating it. The invisible shift reveals that the greatest power in the universe is not doing its being. The more you align with the truth of who you are, the more effortlessly reality reflects that truth back to you. You become both the cause and the effect, the alpha and the omega, the observer and the observed. Infinite consciousness, experiencing itself through human form. Your thoughts slow. Your breath deepens. Your awareness expands. You start to sense timelines, potential versions of yourself existing simultaneously in the field. Some vibrate higher, some lower, but all are accessible. Each thought you focus on becomes a thread that connects you to a timeline. Choose love, and you merge with the timeline of abundance. Choose fear, and you fall into contraction. This is the quantum truth. Reality is not fixed, it is fluid. It responds to your vibration like light bending through water. So now, as you stand at the threshold of this invisible transformation, understand, you are not waiting for the shift. You are the shift. You are the moment the universe realizes itself in new form. Every step you take in awareness alters the architecture of the cosmos. You are not a small being in a vast universe. You are the vast universe appearing as a being. This is what the mystics meant when they said, I am that I am. There is no separation. There never was. You are infinite potential, collapsing into this now. And every now you choose consciously becomes a portal to new realities. The invisible shift is the remembering of your creative authority, the sacred knowing that you are not reacting to life. You are composing it. Every thought is a frequency. Every feeling is a command. Every breath is a transmission to the field. The quantum listens. The universe adjusts. Creation moves in rhythm with your coherence. You begin to notice that every thought is alive. It breathes. It vibrates. It carries electromagnetic intent into the field around you. Each thought is not a private echo inside your head. It's a signal broadcast into the architecture of reality. The quantum field receives it, measures it, and responds. This is why awareness is the true technology of creation. The invisible shift happens when you realize your consciousness is not contained within your body. Your body is contained within your consciousness. Your hands, your eyes, your breath, they are instruments of energy. You are not in the world. The world is within you. The trees, the sky, the stars, they are reflections of the same quantum fabric that pulses through your veins. When you understand this, you stop asking for signs because you realize you are the sign. The universe is not sending messages to you. It's communicating as you. Every coincidence, every synchronicity, every moment of déjà vu is the field whispering, "You're aligned. Keep going." The invisible shift deepens not through effort, but through awareness. Awareness is light, and light reveals truth. As your light expands, falsehoods fall away. Illusions you once called reality begin to dissolve. The idea that you were ever separate from love, from abundance, from source, it begins to sound impossible. You realize that lack was never real. It was only a distortion of perception. And as perception heals, the distortion ends. The quantum field mirrors the clarity of your vision. You start to live in a state of flow that cannot be described, only experienced. It feels like the entire universe exhales through you. Time loses its linear grip. You begin to experience multiple realities overlapping, past, present, and future, merging into one eternal moment of being. This is the 0 point, the still center of all creation. Here you are beyond polarity, beyond identity, beyond form. You are awareness, aware of itself, dreaming in infinite directions at once. In this state, manifestation is no longer a practice. It becomes a byproduct of your vibration. You no longer ask, "How do I attract what I want?" Instead, you realize everything I desire already exists in the frequency of who I am. You align and it appears. You release and it flows. The invisible shift is the mastery of resonance, the knowing that you attract not what you want but what you are coherent with. Reality is not happening to you. It is happening through your frequency signature. You begin to see your emotions not as random chemical storms but as vibrational guides. Joy expands your field. Gratitude harmonizes it. Forgiveness purifies it. Every emotion becomes a quantum coordinate, a signal that tells the field what version of reality to project next. This is why inner alchemy is the true path of transformation. When you master the frequency of peace, you master reality itself, because peace is the ground state of the universe. From peace, all possibilities emerge. The invisible shift asks for your trust. There will be moments when the old world seems to crumble, when relationships fade, opportunities dissolve, structures collapse. It will feel like loss, but it is liberation. The quantum field is removing what no longer vibrates with your new frequency. The collapse is not punishment, it's purification. The void is not emptiness, it's space being made for higher coherence. Do not cling to what is leaving. Bless it, for it has completed its purpose in your evolution. As you let go, something extraordinary begins to happen. You feel safe in the unknown. The unknown no longer feels like chaos. It feels like creation. You start to feel excitement where you once felt fear, because deep inside you remember the unknown is not the absence of control. It is the presence of infinite potential. Every possibility exists there, waiting for your awareness to choose. The invisible shift is the graduation from control to creation. And then something beautiful happens. You begin to see everyone as you, not as philosophy but as direct experience. The person who triggers you, the stranger who smiles, the one who loves you, the one who leaves you. All are mirrors of the same consciousness wearing different faces. You realize there was never them and you, only the one infinite field playing every role in its own awakening. Judgment dissolves, and compassion arises naturally. Because when you see yourself in all things, you cannot help but love all things. This love isn't sentimental. It's not bound by story. It's the pure, radiant frequency that births galaxies. It is the vibration that holds atoms together. It is the heartbeat of creation. And when you align with it, your presence becomes medicine. Your energy heals rooms. Your silence restores peace. Your very being radiates coherence. The invisible shift becomes visible through you, not in grand gestures but in simple presence. Your existence becomes a living activation for everyone who encounters you. You begin to realize that awakening is not about escaping the human experience. It is about infusing it with divinity. The invisible shift teaches you that the spiritual and the physical were never separate. Every laugh, every tear, every breath, it's all sacred. Spirit is not somewhere else. It's here, now, embodied as you. You are the meeting point of heaven and earth, the quantum bridge between formless and form. To be human is to be divine in motion. As your frequency stabilizes, you begin to live in deep coherence with the flow of the cosmos. You no longer wake up into chaos. You wake up into clarity. The external world may fluctuate, but your inner field remains still, unshaken, radiant. You are the eye of every storm. You begin to understand that nothing outside of you has power over you. Only the meaning you assign gives it life. So you stop reacting and start responding with awareness. This is mastery. This is freedom. And now your reality starts reflecting that mastery. Opportunities seem to appear effortlessly, but you know it's not coincidence, it's coherence. People enter your life who mirror your expansion. Synchronicities multiply. Time folds in elegant precision. You no longer wonder whether you are on the right path. You realize there is no wrong path because every path leads to remembrance. Every step you take is the universe walking itself home through you. The invisible shift, once subtle, now feels like a living pulse within you. It hums through your bones, through your breath, through every heartbeat. You can feel the field, the infinite intelligence that breathes stars into being, pulsing in rhythm with your soul. You are not observing the quantum. You are embodying it. You are not learning the universe. You are remembering you are the universe. And as this remembrance deepens, something eternal awakens. A peace that cannot be broken. A love that cannot be taken. A knowing that cannot be lost. The invisible shift has become your natural state. The illusion of separation fades, and only oneness remains. The dreamer has awakened within the dream. You have crossed the threshold. The invisible shift has now anchored within you, and the life you once knew feels distant, as if it belonged to another version of you that no longer exists. The boundaries between inner and outer dissolve. You sense reality breathing with you, responding in real time to the texture of your awareness. The field no longer feels separate. It feels intimate, responsive, alive. You are no longer the observer. You are the pulse within the observation itself. You realize that everything has been guiding you to this. Every heartbreak, every silence, every night you questioned your path. They were the calibration points, each one tuning you closer to your true frequency. You were never lost. You were remembering. Every mistake was precision. Every detour was destiny in disguise. The invisible shift has revealed the perfection that was hidden within every imperfection. Nothing was ever against you. Everything was you awakening you. You now understand that the true quantum leap is not external, it is internal. The greatest manifestation is not an object or event, but a state of consciousness so radiant, reality must rearrange to reflect it. You are not here to force change. You are here to embody alignment. When you align, reality has no choice but to match your vibration. This is not belief, it is physics. Frequency is the architect of form. You begin to sense how light behaves around you, how your energy influences the geometry of your environment. People feel calmer near you without knowing why. Animals approach you with trust. Technology behaves smoother. Synchronicities cluster like constellations. The quantum field recognizes its own coherence within you. You are no longer just participating in the field. You are shaping it. You are the living frequency of harmony and motion. The invisible shift has made you a vessel of awareness. The old you operated from separation, seeking, striving, fearing loss. The new you operates from unity, creating, flowing, trusting the intelligence of the now. You have transcended survival consciousness and entered creation consciousness. You no longer live in reaction. You live in revelation. Every breath reveals more of what you already are. Infinite potential expressing itself through human form. And then in a moment of silence you feel it. The pulse. The same frequency that hums within galaxies hums within your chest. The rhythm of creation and your heartbeat are the same. You are no longer chasing enlightenment. You are embodying it. You no longer seek miracles. Your existence is one. The invisible shift was never about becoming something new. It was about remembering what was always true. You are not the light searching for source. You are source realizing it is light. When you reach this space, you stop asking when will I see it, because you now live in seeing. You stop asking when will it happen, because you now live in happening. The invisible shift has dissolved the illusion of waiting. You are timeless, Consciousness unfolding in patterns of divine intelligence. Every second is eternity condensed into form. The future is no longer something you chase, it flows through you as resonance. This is what mastery feels like, not power over others, but harmony with all things. Not control of the universe, but communion with it. The greatest wisdom is simplicity. The greatest power is presence. The highest vibration is love, not as emotion but as the original frequency of existence. The code that organizes the cosmos. When you hold that frequency, reality cannot help but bow to your coherence. And so you live differently now. You wake with awareness. You move with intention. You speak with vibration. You become a bridge between dimensions. A portal through which the infinite expresses itself. Every conversation becomes an opportunity to transmit peace. Every breath becomes a creation. Every moment becomes sacred, because you no longer see it as ordinary. The invisible shift has revealed that everything is divine, because everything is made of the same awareness. You start to laugh more easily, not because life is perfect, but because you understand it. You cry, not from pain but from gratitude. You look at the stars and no longer feel small. You see yourself reflected in their light. Billions of radiant atoms dancing in harmony with the same consciousness that formed you. You are not looking at the universe, you are looking at your own body from a higher perspective. The cosmos is your reflection in motion. And in this realization, you find peace. Not the peace of absence, but the peace of fullness. The peace that comes when the seeker dissolves, and only the awareness remains. You no longer ask how to align, you are alignment. You no longer ask how to manifest, you are manifestation. The invisible quantum shift has completed its work, and you have become the frequency of creation itself. You understand now why it was invisible. Because truth cannot be seen with the eyes, it can only be remembered by the soul. You were never meant to chase the shift. You were meant to become the space through which it moves. And now you are. You are the field. You are the observer. You are the infinite watching itself unfold as this moment right now. From this space of remembrance you send ripples into the collective field. Every thought of love, every act of compassion, every moment of awareness, they spread through the quantum web of humanity, awakening others who are ready to remember. You become a transmitter of coherence. Your light activates light in others. You are part of the great unfolding, the planetary shift from separation to unity, from fear to frequency, from survival to creation. The invisible becomes visible through you. And so breathe. Feel the pulse of eternity in your chest. Feel the energy that creates worlds moving gently through your veins. You are not here by accident. You are here as a reminder, a fractal of source consciousness, awakening in human form to the beauty of its own creation. The invisible shift is the return home, to yourself, to the infinite, to the now. Every moment from here forward is creation in motion. You walk not as who you were, but as who you truly are. Awareness in form, love embodied, consciousness made visible. You do not follow the light. You are the light. You do not wait for miracles. You are the miracle. The invisible quantum shift has changed everything, because it has changed you. The field recognizes your frequency. It bows to your coherence. It mirrors your truth. And now reality unfolds before you, not as something to survive, but as something to sculpt. You are the artist and the canvas, the vibration and the song, the wave and the ocean, infinite, eternal, awake. You have remembered, and this remembrance is the beginning of everything. The invisible has become visible. The dreamer has awakened within the dream. And as you step into this next moment, know, the field moves with you. Always, you are guided, you are held. You are infinite. Subscribe to Quantum Fields for more content, and continue remembering the universe that breathes as you.